Moreover, the information sought by the subpoenas is wildly disproportionate to the needs of the case and unnecessarily invades the privacy of untold numbers of third parties, including family, friends, business partners, and quite literally any other person with whom any of the targets have communicated with over a period of years.
6 in this lawsuit says the dangerous climate of threats, harassment, and intimidation fueled by the defendant's retaliation campaign has required Ms. Lively to alter her personal and professional life.
The drama between Justin and Blake is still going strong, keeping the internet buzzing as people eagerly watch for their next moves in this PR battle. So, what's the latest? And how is Team Blake handling the growing pile of evidence against her? Well, she's definitely trying a few tactics. One of them even involves another actress filing a lawsuit that many are calling absurd. Over the past few weeks, public opinion has mostly shifted in Justin's favor. At first, fans were quick to support Blake, especially since she was originally seen as the victim. But as time went on, her true colors started to show, and Justin's receipts only made things worse for her. Even Megyn Kelly had a pretty blunt take on the whole situation.
And Brian Friedman knows how to fight back against a bully. Trust me. And he started telling everybody Justin Baldoni's side. He told us that Justin Baldoni denied those claims of sexual harassment and only tried to appease Blake Lively because she was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat. He had to bend over backwards just to get her to shut up and complete the film. He told us that Justin Baldoni claims she tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do is direct it and edit it and produce it. I want all the roles for me and only me. I want full control because I am a controlling bully.
Megyn Kelly didn't hold back, saying Blake has a god complex, something that became clear when she referred to herself as KH from Game of Thrones. She also highlighted Justin's claims, pointing out that while Blake insists she was just expressing appreciation for her close supporters, many see it as a not-so-subtle threat that isn't fooling anyone.
And what they showed is that Blake Lively has got a bit of a god complex. She's texting Justin Baldoni about how she sees herself as Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, Mother of Dragons. Did you watch that? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So Khaleesi is stunningly beautiful. She's this effervescent, strong character with temerity and resilience, and she's fierce. She's literally the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. That's her. That's me. That's Blake. And she says, and I've got the greatest dragons on earth, Ryan Reynolds and my best friend, who is Taylor Swift, though she's not named or they blacked it out. So she's telling him, I'm mother of dragons and my dragons will cut a bitch. And my dragons are named Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. So the message is pretty clear.
A behavioral analyst even weighed in on Blake's claim that Justin acted inappropriately during a scene that wasn't being recorded for audio. However, Justin later released footage of the scene and explained that the whole purpose of it was to depict the characters sharing an intimate moment in the film.
Or something, we deserve an award for just sniffing that out. Like, he is a true, thoroughbred narcissist.
So, Justin wasn't acting inappropriately. He was simply doing his job. While the audio may have sounded casual, the focus was always on the visuals, which were meant to be used in the movie.
Earlier this week, the Lively parties issued subpoenas to cellular providers AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, seeking, quote, all documents concerning ingoing and ongoing calls or text messages related to phone number, when it's blocked out, belonging to each of the individual Wayfarer parties, some of their employees, and various non-party individuals, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site location information. The subpoenas seek such information over a period of multiple years, in most cases spanning from December 1st, 2022 to the present. It is hard to overstate how broad, invasive, and atypical these subpoenas truly are. This is civil litigation, not a criminal prosecution, and the Lively parties are not the FBI. Yet the subpoenas seek not only the complete call and text history of each of the targets over a period of several years, no matter the sender, recipient, or subject matter, but also over the same period, real-time location information and data logs reflecting, among other things, web browsing history. This would include, of course, materials protected from disclosure by a laundry list of statutes and privileges.
He remained impartial and acknowledged that Blake didn't seem completely comfortable, so she might have had a point. However, others have argued that this is exactly why having an intimacy coordinator is so important, something Blake reportedly refused.
In public, Mr. Baldoni gave the appearance of taking responsibility for the fact that he had, quote, unconsciously been hurting and silencing women in his life and implored men to be man enough to, quote, shut the hell up and listen to women. He claimed that he wanted to end toxic masculinity, acknowledging his own toxic behavior by admitting that, quote, there is a woman or two that I in some way made uncomfortable by saying something or doing something that was chauvinistic or sexist. There is 1,000,000% probability that that exists.
Things took an even stranger turn when Ryan Reynolds made an unscripted joke about the lawsuit on SNL. Many were left confused, after all. Who jokes about something like this if their wife was truly harassed?
I've had to take a real honest look at the ways that I've unconsciously been hurting the women in my life. And it's ugly. My wife told me that I had been acting in a certain way that hurt her and not correcting. Basically, sometimes when she would go to speak, at home or in public, I would just cut her off mid-sentence and finish her thought for her. It's awful. The worst part was that I was completely unaware when I was doing it. It was unconscious. So here I am doing my part, trying to be a feminist, amplifying the voices of women around the world, and yet at home, I am using my louder voice to silence the woman I love the most. So I had to ask myself a tough question. Am I man enough to just shut the hell up and listen?
Team Blake also filed a subpoena requesting access to Justin Baldwin's phone messages, hoping to find evidence to back up their claims.
What do you want men to take away from this film?
I want men, first of all, I want men to stop asking the question, why do women stay?
Yeah.
Right? I want men to take accountability. I want men to hold other men accountable. And in this particular film, I want men to go to the theater and in some way see a version of themselves. You have two very different characters. Both of them, in Atlas and Ryle, have had past trauma. One handles it very different than the other. And my other hope is that the men who have not done the work, who have not done the work to heal, if they see bits of themselves in Ryle, have a chance to step back and say, you know what, I don't want to blow up my life. I don't want to hurt the person I love the most. I need to get help. I need to feel all these things that I've buried so deep down so that it doesn't explode on somebody that I love. And hopefully that can create some compassion and empathy and make the world a safer place.
Now that Blake's team has filed an amended complaint, everyone was expecting some major new evidence, but there wasn't. Instead, they appeared to take comments out of context in an attempt to paint Justin as someone with a history of inappropriate behavior toward women.
6 in this lawsuit says the dangerous climate of threats, harassment, and intimidation fueled by the defendant's retaliation campaign has required Ms. Lively to alter her personal and professional life and to take steps to protect innocent bystanders rather than exposing them to further harm. So she's now using this to explain away why no one's joining in on her lawsuit, okay? They're setting that up right at the beginning. Essentially, no one's going to join in, but just so you know, this is to protect them. I'm going to explain to you why that's absolutely BS. It goes on and reads, thus, this amended complaint does not refer to certain witnesses by name, nor does it provide screenshots of their text messages. Importantly, however, these witnesses have given Ms. Lively permission to share the substance of their communications in this amended complaint as contained herein, and they will testify and produce responsive documents in the discovery process. Okay, let's just pause to make sure everybody understands what's happening here because they think we are so stupid, okay? I'm not going to include them in here because I'm going to protect them. But down the line, I'm going to subpoena them and force them against their will, which means that they are not willing participants and that you don't have their support, because the reality is you can compel them to testify, okay?
Candace Owens called out Blake's team for including unrelated dialogue in the legal document, stuff that had little to do with the actual case.
Bossy Blake said that another actress had filed a complaint, making it seem that it was about Baldoni. However, that actress was Jenny Slate, and according to the Hollywood Reporter, it had nothing to do with Justin Baldoni. Her complaint was against his producing partner, Jamie Heath. I'm gonna read this briefly because the wording matters. quote, it stemmed from an interaction with Heath about the apartment Slate had rented in New York City, where It Ends With Us was shooting. Slate, who has a toddler, told him, his producing partner, she wasn't thrilled with the space she had rented, but that moving wasn't an option because she didn't want to lose the sizable security deposit, around $15,000. Heath informed Slate that Wayfarer, his production company, would reimburse her for the lost security deposit so she could find better accommodations. But apparently, he made the offer using language that made Slate uncomfortable. Sources say he focused intensely on the sanctity of motherhood and Slate's role as a mother.
Seiss also pointed out that the complaint included a clip of Justin talking about holding men accountable, trying to make it seem like he was admitting to his own mistakes. However, the clip was actually from an interview where he was discussing his character in It Ends With Us.
They said that Slate, quote, filed a complaint to the film's distributor, Sony, about the incident. Turns out she did not. The Hollywood Reporter amended their article online and changed the wording from, she filed a complaint to the film's distributor, Sony, about the incident, and then it was changed to, quote, word got back to Sony, the film's distributor. According to sources, Sony then informed Wayfarer about it. And literally today, the Hollywood Reporter amended the article one more time, and the wording was changed yet again. It now reads, and I literally a moment ago went and checked, as of this second that I'm uploading the video, it reads, quote, according to sources, Sony became aware of Slate's concerns and informed Wayfarer about them.
Candace Owens also criticized the new document's manipulative language, saying Blake is trying to justify why no one else is publicly supporting her.
You know what really happened here? First, the truth was exposed. Meaning, the Hollywood Reporter initially shared that Jenny Slate filed a complaint. They were given bad information. They then changed that on their website, and then they changed it yet again. But the changing is not a good look for the hair care professional. This that we now know weakens her case because Jenny Slate did not file a complaint either against Baldoni or his producing partner. And the Basement Banisher is trying to make it seem like there were multiple reported incidents and complaints of inappropriate behavior with not just her, but with other cast members.
Many have noted that Blake's lawsuit seems like an attempt to gaslight the public into siding with her. Now, she's even bringing up another actress's complaint against Justin to strengthen her case.
She puts in bold, none of the requested protections, her 17 points that she wanted, were tied in any way to Ms. Lively's creative input in the film. And they were made months before any discussions regarding the cut of the film. Oh, so you're saying you made the allegations first, and then you tried to make input and change the direction of the film. Are you saying that the chicken had to come before the egg? Yes, sweetie, the chicken had to come before the egg. Obviously, it was because you made these demands and 17 points, which made no sense, and which Brian Freeman went through and thoroughly debunked these points. We've read the messages, sweetheart, okay? We know you said no to the intimacy coordinator. We know that it made no sense that you were then saying there must be an intimacy coordinator on set at all times. And so, yes, first you're going to make the sexual harassment threat, and then you're going to go, as you guys did, and they proved in the background, I want this, I want that. If I don't get what I want, I'm not going to show up. He has to be put into the basement.
Except she hadn't. In fact, she hadn't even filed a complaint against Justin's producing partner, as was initially reported. The Hollywood Reporter, which first broke the story, had to update its information 3 separate times.
Depositions and discovery are to come, and Taylor Swift. And others, but Taylor Swift. Seems that her former bestie is really worried about, let's say, text messages between her and the global pop superstar getting out there. So, as part of the Woody Allen apologist's request for additional protections, she and her legal team are asking for an attorney's eyes only category.
Of course, she's claiming she wants the order to protect her family.
The A-lister, in her own mind, insists that the court has good cause to adopt the proposed extra protective order, explaining, quote, as detailed in Miss Lively's amended complaint, Miss Lively, her family, and other members of the cast, various fact witnesses, and individuals that have spoken out publicly in support of Miss Lively have received violent, profane, sexist, and threatening communications.
The Hollywood Reporter later claimed they had to update the article due to a technical glitch that caused an earlier version to be published. But was that really the truth?
Blake's publicist, on the other hand, is now trying to get out unscathed from the issue by asserting that they had nothing to do with it.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' publicist is asking to be dropped from Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Weeks after Justin filed a defamation complaint against his It Ends With Us co-star Blake and her husband Ryan in response to her sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit against him and named their publicist Leslie Sloan as a co-defendant, the Vision PR owner filed a motion on February 20th to dismiss his countersuit.
But how will it all play out? And who will come out on top in this PR and legal battle? We'll have to wait and see. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the biggest stories in entertainment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.